there, go, guy. Bye, kitty. I don't know if it's safe for you in here. Alright, well, there's definitely boar in here, because I heard them earlier, which means I have to fucking make sound. Because the only problem with the boar is if they're injured, or maybe if they're rutting. But primarily is startling them, of course. I have a new guide. Don't go too far, cat. I think you live up there. And I know there's dogs through here. Well, I mean, I guess there's plenty for you to escape on. There's trees everywhere and brush and everything. You seem like you know what you're doing. pretty sure this is, I don't know how long this foot trail has been, but the other way up is somewhat of a circuitous road, and it's just a fucking concrete road instead of a nice footpath. There are definitely some feral dogs around, but they're not like dangerous packs like there were the other day. Closer to Ionina. Everybody assured me that these dogs around here are pretty chill, and the ones that I've seen, like literally one surprised me this morning in the dark before dawn by just sneaking up on me and just like chilling right behind me sitting, and it's very just completely chill. I kind of want to see if I can get some kind of snacks for the dogs and cats, but it is definitely a little creepy having the sound of the cat behind me. As I'm going. But yeah, fucking ancient footpath. Hopefully, I mean I don't know, but I kind of get the idea that this footpath might have been here for quite a while, since some of the missions are over, or the people arriving here for 800 years ago, and that's when they were started actually heading up onto the rocks to live. So I guess it's people who were living down below before, but I don't really know. And yeah, so really nice day today. I hiked up from Kalabaka maybe to Mediora. The main monastery, I guess, just started closing 3 days a week instead of one. So it was closed today. It's closed Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and yeah. So went up there, and then went to Valar, maybe is the one right next to it, which was really cool. It's not as famous, not as big, not as old, but really cool, and nice museum, and yeah. This is a pretty cool little forest area. Hey, cat. So I think it's maybe 3 kilometers in the woods. I think it's actually probably less. This trail doesn't come up on Google Maps, but it switches from dirt to stone at some point, and it's well traveled on foot, I think. I didn't know about the other one, so I ended up hiking up on the road this morning, and then hiked down on a path, and immediately found a guide. It was a local guide who, yeah, you definitely make sounds louder than a cat sometimes, it seems. Having fun with shadows. Anyway, Brink all indexes, this is just a very, very safe town. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not too worried about going through here. The only thing that has me concerned in the least is boars. And like I said, this requires talking aloud, very similar to like black bear, where you're having fun, aren't you? But anyway, yeah. So from what I know, boars are very much like black bear in that they're not going to fuck with you. You just need to make noise, and then they know that you're there, and they keep away from you. So the main thing is startling. I had one job when I was in my very early 20s in Aspen, and it was doing estate gardening, and so we would head up pre-dawn because the lightning storms were so heavy that you usually, and they were almost daily, and they would come in shortly afternoon. So to get in an 8-hour day, we would start at like 4 in the morning, and so it would be dark out, and there'd be big bear shit and stuff like that. So you had to get in the habit of talking to yourself aloud the whole time while you were working, so that you didn't accidentally startle a bear, because that's, really the only main risk there. So we had some stone, and then we're switching back to dirt. Yeah, not a ton of visibility here. Cat's followed me for quite a ways now. So this is my first full day in Meteora, which I know I'm not saying right. Like if I said it to a local that didn't know that that's where I was talking about, I guess they probably wouldn't understand my pronunciation, because of points of emphasis and enthusiasm, I guess. Like this woman who I was speaking with, who's from Illinois, was like, "Oh, English speakers, you speak with no sex," meaning like no passion, and more or less like a monotone. And the emphasis on certain, what the fuck is the term? The emphasis on certain syllables in a word changes the meaning. So if you place the emphasis on, like, say, the first syllable instead of the second in a word, with certain words it means an entirely different thing. Almost like tonal, well, just like tonal stuff in tonal languages, like Thai, for instance. Okay, so coming out a little bit, I'm going to be able to, here's where the stone gets more consistent, I think, and some actual stairs instead of dirt, and kind of can see the town again now. Hey, little guy. So Holy Temple, or Holy Trinity Monastery, is at the top of that rock there, which I don't even think you can make out with how dark it is now. And then that's town there, Kalawaka. And then some of the giant rocks here. And although I thought these rocks looked kind of similar in style to Smith Rock, Smith Rock's volcanic, I guess, and these are not. These are from long runs of layer after layer of compression. All of it used to be submerged underwater, and then due to tectonic activity over millions of years, all of it was lifted way above sea level, and then the sandstone, carved out as sandstone does, somewhere, I think, like what you would see in Utah then, I think so, then stuff in Oregon. What's up, cat? I'm going to be going I was planning to go from Thailand to Cambodia, but because of the conflict right now, I'm not going to do that. So I think I'm actually going to potentially do a 6 or 7 day trip down the Mekong, going from Thailand to Cambodia, or from Thailand to Laos, up higher up near Chiang Mai. I haven't really done research on it, but I do use, ChatGPT and DeepSeek and Gemini as brainstorming stuff sometimes, and one of them came up with that idea. So I think that would be really cool if it's a distinct possibility. I need to research what vaccines I might need, because it kind of changes being in that environment. And yeah, other than that, I think, well, the cat's way back there. Hopefully it goes home, because I'm going to be back in town and near the dogs not too long from now. But I think the idea of traveling after I've already been in Thailand for, say, 6 weeks, traveling for a week on boat with locals, probably cooking, on board, and going, I don't know, that just sounds fucking badass to me. Like, a genuinely amazing experience. So that's kind of what I'm looking at now. I need to decide my exit for Thailand within 2 weeks from now, because I think 2 weeks and 2 days. Let's see, today's Wednesday, and I land in Thailand 2 weeks from Saturday, so a little over 2.5 weeks, and basically 2.5 weeks, because I fly out on Friday and land on Saturday, and I'll get there at like 8:30 in the morning on Saturday after a 3-hour layover in Singapore, which I kind of wish was longer. Wish I had a day in Singapore just to check out the city real quick, but unfortunately no. I wonder how much it would cost if I just did a day delay, or even ask if I could. They might let me do that. Well, no, I don't want to fuck up my reservations and everything else. Maybe I do. I'll have more time. I plan to spend potentially up to a year in Asia. Kind of a year plus is what I'm thinking, because I want to do Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Taiwan, and then also Hong Kong if I can, potentially China, definitely Japan. Japan for a long time, 2.5 months maybe. I'd like to be there for fall, kind of go from the south to the north, hiking as the leaves change. So just start far south and then do short stint hikes. Okay, the stars are nice here. It's enough elevation that there's horrible smog in this area, some parts of here. But I think this is still high enough up in elevation that it's kind of cool. So anyway, my plan, like a year from now, is when I plan to be roughly leaving Japan, and then I will decide whether or not I'm doing what countries I'm going to do on the way back. So whichever countries I like the most on this first stint, whether it's Thailand for a little bit or whatever other country. And then I really would like to do Sri Lanka for a short spell on the way back, maybe a little under a month, and then to likely Istanbul and Albania, and then hit up Europe by spring of 2027, I think. Yeah, spring of 2027. That's nuts. But anyway, that's my plan. I guess. Yeah. So, I think I'm probably pretty much close to out of boar territory, because I only heard them higher up, and I haven't heard anything now. I heard one early this morning, and I heard one around sundown. And the 2 times that I heard them, they were up closer to the rim. And yeah. I was surprised how close they were to the road both times, actually. I didn't hear any while I was on the path. And yeah, this is definitely a cool little path. I'm so much less likely to twist an ankle on a path like this. I don't want to jinx myself, but then walking in a town that has mostly good roads and then it's like missing like a cover for uh, an electric box, or a cobblestone's missing, or a cobblestone is loose. The loose cobblestone is how I messed up my leg pretty badly in Albania. I mean, an amazing country. Definitely, has is impoverished in certain regards, and that shows in some of the roads and the sidewalks. So you definitely have to be cautious walking around there. And I wasn't cautious enough, and I ended up, hurting my leg pretty badly, and more or less kind of lost several days of doing anything, which is also, I mean, I don't know. I think I needed the downtime, and it was a good excuse to just lay in bed, watch American movies, and just downtime, because it has been like, I don't know. I think it's been maybe, it's been 13 months now. Like more than 13 months, 13 and a half months since I left the States. So